Dr. John Ioannidis, he's a Stanford professor and medical researcher. He asserts that as much as 90% of the published medical information that doctors rely upon is flawed. And he openly asserts that the published scientific literature is so flawed and riddled with conflict of interest that doctors are relying upon an illusion of scientific consensus that drives decision making. In your book, The Illusion of Evidence-Based Medicine, you argue that evidence-based medicine has been hijacked. Can you explain what you mean by this and how it happened?
Well, the stamp of evidence-based is what gets treatments accepted in psychiatry. And so what happens is that the preferred methodology of the randomized controlled trial is therefore the arbiter of whether something is evidence-based. And so if you're a pharmaceutical company wanting to sell your drug, then you don't need to think about whether your drug actually works. What you need to do is demonstrate that it can beat placebo on a randomized controlled trial. And instead of doing what's scientific, which is setting the most stringent possible test that's likely to catch your idea out, you do exactly the opposite. You set the circumstances most likely to support your favoured idea. And it's relatively easy to do that within the constraints of apparently robust methodology in a randomized controlled trial. So, for example, either choosing a very high dose of a comparator drug so that you can guarantee it'll cause lots of side effects, which makes your drug look safer, or choose a very low dose of a comparator drug so that it's likely that your drug will look more effective. And there are some of the more obvious tricks, but there are literally tens of ways in which you can carry out a well-conducted randomized controlled trial. And then even if the methodology is sound, the way in which you report it and publish it and spin it offers real opportunity. And all of that is knowingly or unknowingly supported by regulators like the FDA, who do things probably from a good place, like offer an extra 6-month patent extension for doing research in children. Then there's an incentive to carry out trials that are meaningless and not looking at the truth, but merely ticking a box in order to make another $500 million or $1 billion from their drug, which is threatened with patent expiry.